After finishing a job picking fruit, I hit the road in search of more work up the coast. I'd been driving for 5 hours when I noticed my fuel tank was empty. I keep going. 20 minutes later, the engine starts to choke. Just in the nick of time, I see a rundown garage with the sign R&H Service Centre. I pull in. There's an old combi hoisted up. Tinkering underneath, there's this skinny guy, about my age. He gave me a smile with a missing tooth. "G'day, mate," he said. "What can I do you for?" I said, "I run out of fuel." He said, "I got a barrel of diesel, been sitting there about 3 years, but," I said, "the problem is the pay from my last job hasn't gone through. I could camp here overnight and pay in the morning." He said, "I tell you what, I could do with a bit of help around here. I'll pay you $30 an hour and you can stay in the house on the hill." I said, "Okay." He put out his bony hand. "Henry's the name." "Steve," I said, "when do I start?" "Do a few odd jobs, lift and stuff. Mainly keeping him company while he's working on that van." After 2 hours, he gave me the keys to the house. I slung the bag over my shoulder and lugged it up the hill as the sun set. The house smelt musty, like no one had been there for a long time. The bedroom up the front had a four-poster bed with a floral wallpaper. I dropped my bag and lay down. I was too tired to explore the rest of the house. Had no phone reception, so I read myself to sleep. I woke up in the dark to this banging noise. Got up and I found the light switch. A freezing wind had blown the front door open. I turned around. There was a figure at the bottom of the stairs. Looked like a lady draped in a nightgown that hung off her bones. Her face was in shadow. "Who are you?" she said. Her voice was a low whisper. "Steve." I said, "I'm helping Henry in the workshop." "How lovely," she said. "I'm Henry's mother, Rita." I stepped forward a little. She held up a hand and she said, "Don't come any closer, I'm sick." And on her wrist, there was a tattoo of a death's head moth. "Henry never mentioned you," I said. "That sounds like him." And with that, she disappeared up the stairs. I managed to get back to sleep. The next morning, Henry was in the combo van trying to start it. He wasn't having any luck. He gets out all flustered, rolls up his sleeves. That's when I saw the tattoo of the death's head moth on his wrist. "I'm going to go check on Mother," he said and trudged up the hill. 10 minutes later, a cop car rolls in. The officer pulls out a photo. "Have you seen this man?" It was Henry. I said, "Yeah, he owns this place." The cop gave me a weird look and said, "Henry escaped from prison after 3 years where he was serving a life sentence for murdering his own mother." I looked over the cop's shoulder up the hill. At that moment, a figure in a nightgown fell from the top story window and landed without a sound. The cop turned to see what I was staring at. By the time he looked, there was nothing there. I reached into my pocket and put the key in his hand. "You might want to check the house," I said. "Something tells me Henry ain't coming back."